Strike 3 wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. These 2025 MLB ejections are wild, chaotic, and unforgettable.
A called third strike. They got to get Arenado out of there.
Only 4 seconds in, and the ump fires off a called third strike, and boom, the fuse is lit. You can feel the storm building as Arenado gets tossed before he even knows what hit him. No warning, no pause, just out, and it's catching fire fast. Emotions are boiling, and the stadium's about to erupt. This is one of those moments where baseball flips from calm to chaos in a heartbeat. Strap in, this ejection just lit the match.
Called strike 3, and Schwarber is thrown out of the...
Another brutal strike 3 call, and Schwarber snaps. The second the ump rings him up, he's ejected without a blink, but he's not going quietly. Nope, he turns around and lets it rip, pointing in every direction, inside, outside, high, low. He calls out every blown call of the night. This isn't just frustration boiling over, it's a fiery explosion of raw emotion, because in a game where inches matter, one bad call can set off a powder keg, and that's exactly what happened here.
Strike 3 called. Oh, Lloyd doesn't like it. He goes down via the punch out.
Kyle Schwarber's ejection lights the fuse, and moments later, it's deja vu all over again. Another questionable strike 3, this time on Eloy, and he's had it. Shaking his head as he walks off, the frustration is written all over him. But then, boom, manager Tony La Russa charges out of the dugout, fired up and ready to go to bat for his guy. One heated exchange later, he's tossed too. The crowd erupts as the tension explodes. In just seconds, emotions erupt, and both player and skipper are gone. This is pure baseball theater, raw, intense, unforgettable.
He struck him out, and Contreras is ejected.
The pitch comes in, strike 3, and that's the spark. Sheras is tossed instantly, and the chaos erupts. He's furious, hurling his bat in pure frustration, clearly not buying the call. But it doesn't end there. Coach Pedro Grifol steps in to defend him, and he's ejected too. And just when it seems like things might cool down, Oliver Marmol jumps into the fire and gets thrown out as well. One pitch triggered a chain reaction of ejections, proving just how fast things can unravel when emotions explode on the field.
Runner goes, fisted, ground ball, off the glove of Lindor.
Things go from bad to worse as the pressure boils over. A routine grounder rolls in, and as Lindor moves in for the play, Will Myers slides, but it's anything but clean. The interference is blatant, throwing Lindor off completely. That's all Buck Showalter needs to see. He storms out of the dugout, fuming, demanding an explanation. Moments later, he's tossed. The crowd erupts as Showalter unleashes every ounce of frustration before heading off. It's another fiery moment where tempers flare and passion takes center stage on the diamond.
And that is in there for strike 3, and Xander is upset. Here comes Cora.
Strike 3 is called, and Zeke can't believe it. He turns away, shaking his head in frustration, clearly fed up with the zone. But before the moment cools, Alex Cora comes charging out of the dugout to stand up for his guy. It doesn't last long. He's ejected almost instantly. Another fiery outburst, another ejection, and the tension only gets hotter. These are the moments that show just how fiercely players and managers wear their emotions when the calls feel off. It all erupts in the fiery pressure of the American League Championship Series. Right after a tough strike 3 call, Garcia throws the very next pitch, then charges straight at Moncada. No hesitation, just pure emotion. Within seconds, the bench is clear and the field turns into a battleground. Garcia's boiling over, completely losing it, and honestly, who could blame him? In a high-stakes showdown like this, where every pitch counts and adrenaline's maxed out, it only takes one spark to set off an all-out explosion.
Strike 3 call, and Mercer thought it was low. And Davey can't go out there and say.
Another strike 3 call, and this time it's Mercer left frozen in disbelief. He thought it was low, definitely not a pitch he expected to get rained on, but there's no lifeline from Davey Johnson. Nothing he can do now. The frustration's pouring out, especially after stranding runners all game and watching the offense stall. In a tense 1-0 battle heading into the 8th, every call feels massive, and this one just threw gasoline on the flames.
Can't afford that.
Tensions finally snap as the inning wraps up and all that bottled up frustration erupts. The player knows he can't let a moment like that slip, but the emotion hits hard. He's done holding back, and now the ump's gonna hear every word. He unleashes a fiery tirade, making sure he gets his money's worth before the inevitable ejection. In a game where every pitch carries weight, sometimes the pressure doesn't just build, it bursts.
That's strike three. Jace Tingler comes.
Strike 3, and Jace Tingler erupts. He bolts out of the dugout, fired up, and charges straight at the ump to stand up for his guy. The pitch looked high, and Tingler's not about to let it go unchecked. But before he can even get through his argument, he's tossed. Just like that. Another fiery ejection in a game where the strike zone and the tempers are all over the place. The crowd roars as Tingler walks off, still shouting over his shoulder. Players on the bench are fired up, clapping for their manager's passion. It's moments like these that show just how much every pitch truly matters.
A little bit high. Oh!
That pitch sailed a little high, and it's the last straw. Hosmer had it, and just like that, he's ejected for the first time this season. He's not holding back, giving the ump an earful on his way out, but he's not going solo. Cubs manager David Ross storms out right behind him, fired up to defend his guy, and boom, he's tossed too. 2 ejections in seconds, and the dugout is officially lit. When the zone feels shaky, even the most composed can hit their boiling point.
And in there, and he took one too many. Now he's going to argue that with a home plate up rehack.
And that's the breaking point. He's had enough. One questionable call too many, and the frustration finally spills over. He turns to confront home plate umpire rehack, and within seconds, he's ejected. Just like that, he's out. It's a brutal blow, especially with Connor still grinding it out. Now the team's scrambling, forced to shift the defense and plug in someone like D at third. Midway through the 6th, and suddenly the game just got a whole lot messier.
On the corner, ring him up and sit him down. And Segura's been ejected.
Strike 3, right on the edge. The ump rings him up and Seager's had enough. In a flash, he's ejected, furious and convinced that the pitch missed the zone. But the call isn't changing, and Gallen locks in his 6th strikeout of the game, leaving 2 runners stranded in a clutch situation. Seager's boiling frustration spills out, adding another layer of chaos to an already pressure-packed inning. Because sometimes it's not just the pitch, it's the weight of the moment that breaks a player.
Creeping in on the infield, that one squirts away from Alfaro. Here comes Kemp, he tries to elude Alfaro, jumping tag, he missed, oh he got!
Chaos erupts as the ball slips past the catcher. Kemp bolts for home, trying to pull off a daring acrobatic dodge. For a split second it looks like he might have done it, but no. The catcher stretches up, makes the tag, and Kemp is out. It's a wild, heart-pounding play as Tony comes sprinting in from the grass, takes flight, and almost pulls off the impossible. Inches from glory, the drama is real. Exactly the kind of moment that has fans holding their breath.
And a strike 3 called. And frustration boiling over, and Miller's thrown out of this ball. Good strikeout of the inning.
3 called, and that was all. The point of collapse. Mers finally snaps after a game full of increasing strain and is immediately thrown. He's had enough, and this time he cannot hold it in. As emotions boil over once more, the audience roars. Archie Bradley earlier exhibited indications of the same rage. Now the lid has blown off utterly. Every decision feels like a gut punch in this game, and the weight keeps accumulating. One more ejection, one more outburst of unprocessed emotion in a game that just will not slow down.
2 is strike 3. 2 on, nobody out, but no runs.
Full count, strike 3 looking. 2 on, nobody out, and the Giants walk away empty-handed. You can see the frustration etched on their faces. As they head back to the dugout, JD mutters just enough to get the ump's attention. And that's it. He's tossed on the spot. Another ejection in a game where tempers are boiling and every wasted chance cuts a little deeper.
And again, you wonder about, Bay.
And just like that, he's gone. Bay says something after a tight inside pitch to Jeremy, and the ump doesn't even blink. Boom, he's ejected on the spot. Whatever came out of his mouth crossed the line because that toss was instant. In a game already crackling with tension, this just cranks up the heat. One pitch, one remark, and just like that, another early exit. If you loved watching the wildest MLB ejections of 2025, go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment with the moment that had you shouting at the screen, and hit subscribe for more jaw-dropping sports chaos every week. There's way more madness on the way, so stay locked in and we'll catch you in the next one.